What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin Ryder. I'm a commercial real estate broker that's full-time deal maker, part-time content creator based out of Lexington, Kentucky. If you're visiting this channel, you're most likely a real estate entrepreneur. And on a daily basis, you're out there grinding out deals, but you're also very interested in sharpening your message when it comes to personal branding and increasing your productivity levels. The entire point of this channel is that you would have a place to grab a cup of coffee or a drink, and that we could sit down, talk shop, get the creative juices flowing with outbound marketing, and ultimately lead to more deals and increased profitability. In today's video, I'll be talking about 3 ways that you can differentiate yourself as a broker. That's 3 ways that you can actually stand out from the crowd as early as tomorrow or this week. You can apply these things immediately. We're also going to take those 3 approaches and apply an example of each directly to a competing interest group so you see how effective they are. Individually, each of these 3 approaches could create momentum for you, but it's only when combined they create a cyclone of competitive advantage that will allow you to articulate your value proposition in a new and real way. Although I do think this lesson applies to any sales professional, the commercial real estate broker can differentiate themselves in the following 3 ways. Number 1, you can showcase your personality. Folks, people do not want to work with a cardboard box. You've got to let your light shine. Be yourself. Enjoy it. Enjoy it on a daily basis. Yes, commercial real estate is a very professional endeavor, but you also have the opportunity to bring your personality into it and differentiate yourself. What do I mean? Take an approach that demonstrates not how you do things, which is very important, but why you do things, which is just as important. What are your unique whys that you can communicate to the outside world? These might be personal passions of yours. These could be thoughts and feelings you've had about your community, because maybe you grew up there and you love your town and now you do commercial real estate in it. But you're able to show people that you're out there in the world. You're not just an Excel spreadsheet operator. You're out there interacting with people. You have thoughts, feelings, passions, cares, family, etc., etc. This could potentially be, and I'm seeing this a lot out there nowadays, your culture. What about your culture expresses the personality of who you are? Maybe it's your company culture or team culture or your family culture. People love to see the whole person. People love to experience authenticity. Now, you might be thinking my passions are very boring. Why would I talk about liking a Ford truck and doing cold plunges? But that's okay. Maybe you choose a different medium that you're really passionate about, right? You might be an audio person. You say, I'm gonna do a podcast and get that out there. You might be a video person and say, I'm gonna jump into YouTube. You might be a writing person. You like to sit down and write, so you're gonna post written content on LinkedIn or Twitter. There's many different mediums to use to express your individual passion. Let's assume people know you as a broker. What's the first word that you want people to think of when they think of you? It's really interesting. Okay, yes, they're a broker. Assuming I'm going to hear from them, I'm going to hear about real estate or market or a potential sale, or they're going to pitch me on something. But other than that, what comes to mind? Ryan Serhant, formerly of $1 Million Listing, now media mogul and New York City residential guy, has a fascinating principle for this, and it's called real estate and. What is the blank for you? So real estate and what? It could be real estate in cars. It could be real estate in community. It could be real estate in charity. It could be real estate in media, which happens to be mine. So if you are successful in conveying your personality to the public, unfortunately, that is not enough, because you may come across as approachable and fun, but you need more. The second way to differentiate yourself as a broker is to share metrics. You need to become an expert with your product or market's data. That's one, reporting the info, certainly, but also helping to interpret in a way that people can actually use the data to make decisions. Remember, people never remember just the numbers. What people remember is the story. What is the story that your numbers are telling? There are some easy examples of this that you're probably already sharing, but comparable sales or lease comps. You might be sharing the total volume and the specific amount of that volume that trades on a quarterly or annual basis in your community. I have absolutely learned this lesson in a wonderful way, even this week. I mean, there's a difference in saying I'm a multifamily broker And on the other hand, I'm a multifamily broker who tracks 38,806 units in my community. That's everything from quads and up. All right, so we've covered personality, and then we've added metrics into it, or some of those analytical skills. But there's also a third way that you have to differentiate yourself as a broker. And the third way is to share your methods. These methods are actually how you in reality will execute the job for the client, how you will actually get it done. If you compared every single client that you've ever worked with or will ever work with, you will get a variety of different experiences, whether they've done 1,000 deals or 0 deals, and this is their first. They'll all have different styles, but the common thread that runs through every single client is they value execution overall. So how will you get the job done? Who is on your team and what will they be doing in an effort to accomplish this task? What's happening? Who covers the cost? How does it benefit them? One of my incredible commercial real estate mentors, Blaine Strickland, wrote a book where he encourages every reader who is a broker to get a hold of a Gantt chart and to build your own Gantt chart. Gantt charts are simply a project management sheet that lists every single thing that you have to do to accomplish the task of listing a property all the way to the closing table and even after the closing table. This Gantt chart, of course, will blast apart the stereotype that all brokers do is put up a sign, which is what we have to fight, right? All brokers do is put up a sign and then hope and pray, right? Wrong. There are 30-something steps that we're going to take, and here's the price for each and the time period for each. By the way, we're waiting on you on a couple of things, but once you get it to us, we can accomplish these steps. Now, don't tell anyone this, but all you have to do sometimes is put up a sign. That's it. People just call and buy it. Now, as a bonus for this video, I'm actually going to apply these 3 individual approaches to a specific situation. That is a commercial real estate advisor, myself, versus a competing interested party in a certain prospect's time. In this case, the prospect is a sub-institutional multifamily owner. They happen to own 4 to 49 units in about 10 or 11 zip codes. They probably are self-managing their property. They might even be cutting their own grass or doing their own leases, and they've probably owned the property for 10 years or more. Now, one thing that is very true about these people is they are getting a ton of phone calls. Are they getting calls from other brokers? Maybe, partly. They're mostly getting calls from the competing interest group that we're going to look at today, and that is random buyers, whether they be wholesalers or direct buyers. Regardless, people that are calling them to actually buy their property, not advise them on the real estate. Of course, any Venn diagram begins with how are these groups similar. As you can see, the random buyer and the commercial real estate advisor are similar in the fact that they're calling you right now. And we want to go ahead and acknowledge that, but we don't want you to ignore our call thinking that we're like this competing interest group. In fact, we're very different. How are we different? We're different in personality, we're different in metrics, and we're different in method. Let's dive in and actually win this business by differentiating ourselves in those 3 ways. There's a major difference in personality when it comes to what is being offered. From the buyer, I will offer to buy your property. And from the commercial real estate advisor, I will offer to educate you on the market. I will offer to give you free value. The difference is a take versus a give mentality. You can actually convey here a spirit of generosity and a spirit of expertise that I'm going to share this with you for free. The more value you give, the better chance you have to extend the client relationship further. Now, when it comes to metrics, of course, there's going to be numbers shared with any real estate deal. According to these owners that I've talked with, for example, over the last couple of weeks, the major metrics shared with them is what the random buyer can pay. See, we're taking a very different approach, that of maximizing value based on what any buyer could pay due to the market metrics, whether it be the last month or quarter or year or all time. Where could your property fall into that market evaluation versus what a single person could pay because they feel like it on a certain day. If you do this right, it won't feel like you're trying to get into a prospect's wallet and sell their property. It'll feel like you're an ally, not an enemy trying to take something from them, but an ally trying to give them value over time. Now, speaking of time, that brings us to our 3rd category, which, as we discussed, is methods. It's very clear we're going to be going about this in a seriously different way when it comes to how we interact. The random buyer, of course, aims for a one-time streamlined interaction that's very transactional and happens as quickly as possible. When you share your methods with a prospect, it should show them that the first thing you can execute in your relationship, before you execute anything on behalf of their property, the first thing you can execute is a relationship based on trust and follow-up, not pressure and decision. All right, so there you have it. That's 3 ways that you can differentiate yourself as a broker today, this month, this year, in an effort to make it the most profitable year of your career. Do me a favor. Which one of these do you really want to tackle? Drop it below in the comments. Is it personality? Is it metrics? Is it methods? Maybe you're killing it in one, but after this video, you're like, that's one I'm really going to improve. I would love to interact with you in the comments or on other platforms and learn from you as well. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next video.